Good morning, good afternoon, and if you're coming home from working a long 9 to 5, hope you're having a great one as we bring to you another edition of Talktagon with myself, Rami, and the GOAT Max himself. What a weekend it was for sports fans, for sports entertainment fans, for mixed martial arts fans, for anything of combat sports.
Hmm.
Just a week shy away from the Formula One championship ending, Max Verstappen not clinching his fifth title, Lando Norris gets his first championship
Yeah, crazy.
in his career. A week later, we have to deal with a UFC fight night at the Apex, and it's like, God,
Our
please don't.
favorite place.
Um, yeah, exactly. And on top of that, that was the same night where John Cena had retired from inactive competition with the WWE. Broke my heart. I was all bawling my eyes out and everything.
Yeah.
Like, why me? Why me? We did a post show with the other Max Dinnenberg. It's funny that I have two Maxes. I never planned for this in 2025. Like, put it on the bingo card, two Maxes.
Just a go to
Um,
name, I guess. Shit.
right? For people named Max, they sure be doing the minimum. I love that joke so much. But no, like what a weekend it was. We had, of course, good old football. Max, I believe here took first place in the pick'em.
Oh,
Just by picking
really? Shit, I
by
didn't even
picking
notice.
you picked Minnesota last night and they demolished Dallas. I was shocked by that.
What? I
So
did not remember that. I guess number nine is him. Shout out
number nine is
McCarthy.
him. Well, McCarthy in the first 5 seconds of that game did throw an interception, so I
Got
don't
it
know
out the
about
way
him.
quick. Got out of
So
the system.
he got out of his system. He was like, "All right, my Eli Manning ritual." You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but besides that, there was UFC Apex, the final Apex card headlined by Brandon Royval and Manel Kape. But what's so great about Brandon Royval, and he likes to raw dog. You know what I mean? He
Yep.
loves to go raw. He likes it raw, as old dirty bastard would say. I love that intro that he has and everything. It was pretty cool, especially with Raids Against Machine on top of that. But besides that, it was a crazy ending, crazy outcome. Lots of championship contenders that were building up in flyweight. And I can't wait to get to that in a moment. I forgot to bring up my laptop, so I forgot to bring up my notes. So give me one moment with that. Royval versus Cape. Cape, I'm shocked that we didn't get no homophobia from Cape, but we
Yeah.
sure did get something about dirty diapers. I don't really know what the hell that was about,
Bro,
but
he was making his title shot known, you know? He wants that belt.
he wants that belt. So this card here is the final UFC broadcast under the U.S. media rights agreement with ESPN, as beginning in 2026, UFC
Yeah.
live event coverage will transition to Paramount Syndicate.
Canceling
That's
my ESPN Plus for sure.
I can't do that yet. There's still some like WWE is now on there, so I gotta of course
Wow, of course, dude. They're like, we got to
um
get them on both broadcasts. Got ESPN, Paramount.
I know, exactly. And then there's still football. Like this upcoming Saturday, we got some football games and whatnot. So it's like we don't know where that's gonna be broadcasted on. ESPN could suddenly be like, you know what? How about no more Monday Night Football? How about Saturday Night Football? You know what I mean? Like no more
Mhm.
UFC, so they gotta fill in that goddamn slot. College
Yeah,
football don't care.
true.
Um, a flyweight bout between former UFC flyweight champion challenger, also former LFA flyweight champion Brandon Royval, Brandon Royval, and former risen bantamweight champion Manel Cape headlined this event. The pairing was originally scheduled to headline the UFC Fight Night Cape versus Almabayev event in March of 2025, but Royval had to withdraw due to multiple concussions he suffered. That's very, very scary.
Yeah.
They were later rebooked to compete at UFC 317 in June of 2025 this past year. However, Cape withdrew due to a broken foot. So both guys dealt with the, I want to fight, can't fight, I want to fight, I can't fight. So they finally got to fight
Hmm.
here, which was very, very fun. Women's flyweight bout between LFA women's flyweight champion Jamie Lynn Horth and Teresa Belita took place at this event. They were originally scheduled to fight on the Usman versus Buckley card in June, but Belita was forced to withdraw from the fight due to a staph infection. This was the first fight to kick off the card, of course. A women's bout between Luana Santos and Melissa Scare Croden took place at the event. The pairing was originally set to fight off at the Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown in November event, but was moved to this card for undisclosed reasons. We don't know, but they still fought, and Luana Santos had herself a really good performance. We'll get into that soon. Um, got it. Sorry, I was so confused by a message I got. Um, and so yeah, let's head into this card. But it's gonna be it's not bittersweet that the UFC is leaving ESPN. It's more like a blessing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because ESPN, I grew up watching this stuff a lot. You know what I mean? We
Oh
all
yeah.
grew up watching ESPN. I watched so many Yankees games, Dodger games, Cubs games, all sorts of baseball games on there. But as we see with the Sunday Night Baseball lineup moving to Peacock and moving to elsewhere and everything, ESPN has been fizzled out for so long. They got rid of real journalists with social media antics. Like they had Drewski at one
Yeah.
point on First Take, just not knowing what the hell to say. He was just like, "Yeah, LeBron James is the GOAT," and they're like, "Oh, what were your thoughts on last night's game?" "Oh, LeBron James is the GOAT, man. He's just so good." Like,
I
you
mean,
know,
I agree.
I mean, I agree, but like, you could say more than like, he's just the GOAT. Like, what about the fadeaway shots he made? What about the
Yeah.
3-point shot? What about the like last night's game between the Lakers and Suns? Lakers beat them at the very last second, but they could have went the other way because Dylan Brooks had to get all crazy and weird antics and try
Yeah.
to fight LeBron. Like,
As
Phoenix
usual.
could be Phoenix could be doing so well if they didn't have Dylan Brooks. Houston could have done so well if they didn't have Dylan Brooks last year. Memphis could have done so well if they didn't have Dylan Brooks the other year before that. Like I just feel like this whole villain storyline doesn't work for anybody because
Yeah.
how can you be a villain when you ain't even nominated for anything? Like at least
Yeah.
Darth Vader was nominated for something. Like he's a
Yeah.
villain. At
It's
least
like
Pennywise,
he's
which
trying to take over
well
the Draymond Green role, you know what I'm saying? But Draymond a
they have
little
a funny
better.
commercial with Draymond. I think it's for like Macy's or JC Penney or whatever. But like it's Santa giving away like gifts and like all to all these athletes. And he's like, "Sorry, Draymond, you didn't make the nice list this year." And Draymond's like, "Come on, man!" Like it's just so
For real,
great
bro.
because
Took out
we
Jordan
know
Poole for real.
that Draymond will never make the nice list in his entire lifetime unless he actually donates to like like 1,000 orphanages. Um, but heading into the first fight, women's flyweight action, we had Teresa Bleda versus Jamie Lynn Horth. And we both at this point had went for I believe Bleda, right? So we'll see.
Yep.
We went for Bleda and we paid for it.
Yeah, we paid for it.
It wasn't more so bad, but it was more so the fact that wow, Jamie Lynn Horth really freaking showed up and did her job because of course she wasn't really the big favorite heading into this one because of course everyone was going off of Teresa's big finish prior to that. Um, but Jamie Lynn Horth really showed up and showed out this weekend, uh, controlling most of the rounds, controlling the whole fight. Got Teresa Bleda up. As soon as she got her against the cage, she landed those 3 rights to the jaw, dropped her immediately. Referee called it up. Right stoppage right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Quick one.
which by the way, I wanted to mention here, we only got 2 performance of the night bonuses, and it's for the co-main and the main event.
I know, dude.
Like
We
what?
had some robberies of bonuses,
We got a
100%.
fight of the night bonus, which is like okay, hell yeah, because it was like okay, hell yeah, but like at the end of the day, what the fuck? Like this is the
Bro.
final card on ESPN. They're like well, what the fuck do we got to be doing here? Like
So like,
oh
sorry
my god.
guys.
But what were your thoughts on Jamie Lynn Horst's quick first round finish here? And you know, what were your thoughts on this whole card overall?
Yeah, solid start to the card, man. And we got that one wrong by a long shot. Bleda hadn't been in there for 2 years, over 2 years at that point. So I was hoping to see some improvements, and she came in and unfortunately just did not get it done at all. Jamie Lynn Horst with an amazing performance. First round TKO. Doesn't get much better than that. So what a performance there. And I believe it's an underdog. So that makes it even more special. So
Exactly.
she's now won 2 in a row and got that first round finish. So she's going to have a lot of momentum in her next fight. So I'm interested to see what are they going to do with her next, Throw in another Canada card or something because they seem to go up there pretty often. That'd be fun. But yeah, it stinks of
They need to
Bleda.
make more. They need to make more visits to Canada. I feel like they lacked a lot this past year with visits to other places. They only really, went to other places towards the end of the year. Like
Yeah.
we got a Singapore visit, we had a Brazil visit, we had even England and everything, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Like they had so many different visits at the end of the year
Mhm.
rather than the beginning of the year because they just want to do a bunch of Apex cards.
I
It's
know,
like,
right, bro?
you guys will enjoy this. Like, dude, I'd rather enjoy eating shit. Don't do this to me,
Yeah,
dog.
I know. Yeah, I'm like, start traveling with the crowds for fight nights too. I'm like, don't make it only a pay-per-view thing. So now there'll be no more pay-per-view. So maybe they'll actually start to schedule it more, how they did in the past. No more Apex. Get rid of it. I'm sick of it. I want to see the actual crowds. I want to see like them visit different areas, so different fighters get to fight in front of their hometown crowd, and then the crowd goes crazy. That's always the best. So I'm hoping that the Paramount DLC is more of that, but knowing the UFC, we're probably in for a lot more Apex.
I agree, and it was a good opener to just open up the card and whatnot for Jamie Lynn Worth, and for future wise, I really do hope that they travel to different places. It's so funny too because like this Paramount deal is going to be so monumental, and the only monumental thing that they claim is monumental is fighting in front of the White House.
Yeah.
Like that's not really monumental, dude. That's just like
Yeah.
if it was unconstitutional, dude. Like really,
I'm like, is that even going to happen? I wonder. But I mean, it
and then
probably
they
will.
said no tickets will be sold. It'll be invitations.
It will be
So
elitists only.
so we're gonna get Andrew Schultz, Andrew Tate, and what like freaking Elon Musk, Donald Trump. Like we're gonna get the worst people of all time, and they're
For
like,
real,
you know
bro.
what?
The
That's
real
gonna be
fight
perfect
fans.
for us.
Zuckerberg
The
will be in there.
Like, if Theo Vaughn ain't front row, then fuck this whole card because Theo Vaughn is the only guy who's actually dedicated to going to these cards and actually entertaining the fights.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is just like, yeah, I really enjoyed that fight, but Aspinall's a bitch. You know, Aspinall just does not know how to do anything.
So
And then like
looking for a way
Aspinall,
out.
he's looking for a way out, and then like, aren't you a comedian? The fuck are you doing here? Like, really,
Yeah.
like Theo Vaughn makes sense because it's like, if I saw like if you've heard his stories of fighting people, which is the most silliest thing in the world, how he says it, you'd be like, okay, cool. Like there's one story I can't share on here, but it's like I can't really share it on here at all. I'll share it after the show, but like there's just so many funny ass stories that he shares and everything. I don't want to get canceled or anything. It's not racist or homophobic or anything, but it's like I guess it's not crazy. Okay, so we're gonna go on the next fight, heavyweight action, which we never really enjoy because unless it's like
Yeah, I know.
actual true top contenders. What's his name? Gilherme.
Yeah.
Gilherme. Gilherme. Gilherme Pat versus Alan Fry Jr. We both went with Alan Fry Jr. because, as you see from his record, knockout, 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 like 6 straight knockout victories, and we're like, okay, this might be
Yeah.
the same situation that we felt with Denzel Freeman and his other opponent that we had a few weeks ago and whatnot. We're like, well, we went against each other. You picked Freeman, I
Yeah.
picked the other fighter, and I was thinking it's because he's got so many fucking knockouts. I'm gonna go with this man. This guy's a performance of my bonus walkout, man. And no, that was not the case. That was not the case even here with Guillermo Pat. He
Hmm.
just suffocated the man, just kept him down, and just kept freaking just pummeling him over and over and over. You were just like, God, that's just fucked up, bro. Like, there's
Yeah.
really no other way to put it besides, damn, stop it. He's already dead. Like, Alan Fry Jr. got just completely messed up, 30-27 on all the judges' scorecards. There's no other way around it besides just a one-sided beating. What were your
Hmm.
thoughts on this very one-sided
Yeah.
beating, but just ass whooping?
Yeah, I had never really seen either of these guys, so I was curious to see how they were going to look. And we rocked with Fry, but definitely was the wrong decision. And Pat definitely made us regret that pick. But yeah, solid performance. Fry's going to have to go back to the drawing board and do a lot better. But, maybe Pat is just that good. We'll see. We'll see how he progresses throughout his UFC career. But I don't know. It seems to be tough to find really, really good heavyweights lately. They bring in these guys that have really good records, lots of finishes, and then they go to a decision and don't really show any crazy like moments. But he did what he needed to do and got the W in his UFC debut. So shout out to Pat there. And Fry loses his debut, so go back to the drawing board to get better. And we'll see if they keep him around for long.
Exactly. You know who I haven't seen in quite a minute? Randy. Did Randy die?
Dude, yeah, that's a good question, bro. Our favorite
What happened?
freaking viewer, Randy.
What happened to Randy? He was always like, howdy, howdy. I thought he
He was sick of
leaks.
us, bro. He was sick of us. He's like, these guys keep screwing my picks. I keep tailing them, and they keep losing on parlay over and over again.
Like I feel so bad, dude. Like, oh my God. Like I haven't seen Randy in so long. I'm like, bruh, like please come back. Gary, come back. I messed up, and now you're gone. Wah, wah, wah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
For real, bro.
But
Randy's the goat.
our next fight, we went against each other, Luana Santos and Melissa Scare Froden. I went with Scarecrow because of the fact that she dominated in her first win. She lost the first round, but then she came back with that massive scar across her head and was pummeling. Um, my God, I forgot. Lisboa. She was
Yeah,
that just she was rocking her and everything. I'm so glad I can remember these names off the top of my head sometimes because I'm
that
like
was a
I feel
banger.
stupid. I know it was a really good fight. It was a really good one. Coda got the finish in the third round. Especially in Canada as well. She wanted to
Mhm.
woo her native and everything. Um, but this fight here, of course, they say it was one-sided, but I feel like the first round could have went either way for both fighters. The second round, Santos was really working that wrestling a lot. Like she was doing really good with it. She got Croden down, and she was not allowing her to get any action off. With the third round, I felt so freaking bad for Melissa at that point. It was just not good. That headlock freaking
Yeah,
choke and just pummeling her like she wants her lunch money. I was like, my God, that was just brutal, brutal to see.
yeah.
Um, but it gives you so much to learn from. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you're gonna meet somebody that's gonna put you in one of those headlock chokes again. They're gonna try to pummel your freaking face off. But the best thing to always do is to, just learn and adapt from it. You might lose once, you might lose twice, but don't go on a freaking five-fight losing streak here, like
Yeah.
you're a middleweight in the UFC. Um, but of course, Luana Santos picks up the win here. My favorite thing about this, though, I will say, is that after she's done with the headlock choke and everything, she gets up and she screams. She starts
Mhm.
pounding her chest. She's all going all crazy and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, this, you didn't get the finish. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like one of those fights where you're like, okay, like, yeah, you good for you. You got the win and everything by decision, most likely. But like, I always feel like those, reactions are valid only when you get a finish or when you choke out your opponent. If she would have strangled Melissa right then and there, just, got her in that arm triangle, a headlock, bulldog choke, and then got her submitted, I'd be like, all right, hell yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, let out that, victory scream. But they didn't, but they got
Yeah.
the win. So Santos picks up the big win there. Good on her. But of course, what were your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, like you were saying, it kind of started out closer, and then by the end, Santos kind of started to take over more and more. So really impressive performance. We were just talking about Croden, like you said, in the last Canada card, where she had that great performance. So this is a tough one to pick, but I decided to go with Santos. A little bit more UFC experience. Now 5-1 in the UFC at only 25 years old. So she's looking really, really promising. And as her career goes, hopefully she just keeps getting better and better, and hopefully
Hmm.
starts to be able to get more and more of those finishes. So she'll be celebrating, a crazy finish, but solid performance and really exciting, prospect for that division. And as she gets older, she'll probably just keep getting better and better. For Croden, tough performance. Now is 1-1 in the UFC after she won her debut. Now lost her second one, but it was a tough matchup for sure against someone like Santos getting thrown against someone that good, but wasn't able to get it done this time. But I'm glad I rocked with Santos for this one. One up on Rami in the prelims. I'll always take that. Pretty rare, but
Yep, 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 yep.
got to take it when I can. So shout out to Santos taking out the much older Croden and really pretty dominant towards the end for sure.
For sure. You know what's so shocking? The fact that the number 13 ranked women bantamweight on here is Miesha Tate. Like the
I'm
fact
like,
that
is
she
she even
was
still
champion.
fighting?
Yeah, actually she did. She fought in March, or sorry, May of this past year in Des Moines, Iowa, at the Wells Fargo Arena for the UFC's Sandhagen versus Figueiredo card. She fought Yana, formerly known as Kunitskaya, but now Yana Santos, after
Yeah.
marrying Thiago Santos. And I remember Yana Santos saying that like, she was no longer gonna go for this wrestling style. She's gonna go like full crazy like her husband, and she's been really dominant lately. But of course, number 15 ranked Luana Santos picks up a win here. There's still number 14 Jocelyn Edwards will beat Priscilla Teixeira, Miesha Tate coming off a loss, Nora Connolly coming off a loss, Myra Bueno Silva coming off a loss, Jacqueline Cavalcanti coming off a big eight fight win streak,
Mhm.
Carol Rosa, one fight win streak. Eileen Perez, who's gonna be fighting Carol Rosa very soon. Um, sorry, did she fight? Oh no, they already fought at UFC 311. So Eileen Perez she recently posted like a photo or something like that, like she's gonna be fighting very soon. It was an AI video of her throwing ass, so I was like, okay then. I was like, I don't know what the
Like,
fuck to do with this. Like, okay, like an AI video of throwing ass is just even crazier. Oh, she's fighting
uh,
Macy Chiasson. That's who she's fighting. Macy, Chiasson. She recently
yeah.
lost to Yana Santos as well. Like, so, that was a wild one. Irene Aldana lost to Norma Dumont, which Aldana is such a great fighter, such
Hmm.
a pure boxer with that, gritty Mexican style of just being all crazy and dirty. And
Yeah,
I don't mean that in
boxing.
like a, you know what I mean? Like when we see Manny Pacquiao fight, when we saw Oscar De La Hoya fight, when we see these like Latin fighters and everything fight, they all go into that very quick clinch and try to get those dirty boxing off. I couldn't name anyone better than Manny Pacquiao as of late, but that's really the only person I can think of in those types of regions. I'm not gonna mention Teofimo Lopez because he's not good. Irene Aldana, Yana Santos, Ketlin Vieira, Norma Dumont, Raquel Pennington, and Juliana Pena. Those are the top five for the women's bantamweight championship. But Kayla Harrison isn't even fighting any of them because she's
Yep.
fighting next month against Amanda Nunes, the all-time GOAT. So
Yeah, that was a banger right there.
it's gonna be so freaking scary because it's like Nunes is Nunes. You know what I mean? Like there's no matter but that's the thing too. I'm always so scared of ring rust, octagon rust. How are
Hmm.
you gonna fare in there against a fighter who's went through this weight cut so many times already and is ready to go in there and just try to beat the very great.
Yeah.
Like and remember, she's a judo queen. The last judo queen that they had was Ronda Rousey, who got completely destroyed by Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm. So since then, we've not seen a judo queen come into the UFC and dominate the scene like Kayla Harrison has. PFL
Yeah.
dominated, UFC dominated, so I cannot wait to see this fight next month on the first card for Paramount. Um, Moving on to the heavyweight bout between Stephen Aspin and Sean Sharef, which was 2 rounds of crazy action and it even earned fight of the night bonus. Stephen, I believe, was making his UFC debut.
Yep.
If I, yeah, they said he used to weigh 500 pounds and he
Yeah.
lost all of this freaking weight, and
Absolutely
he comes
crazy.
comes in against Sean Sharif. We both went for Asplin. Why wouldn't we?
Yep.
Um, and just wow. What were your thoughts on this? I want to hear your thoughts on this fight
Yeah,
of night
dude.
bonus.
Absolutely insane fight. I remember seeing Steven on Contender Series, and I really fell in love with his style and his personality. He's a really funny guy and just puts it all out there and in and out of the ring, and has a really inspirational story, losing all that weight and now becoming a UFC fighter and winning his
Yep.
debut. He said his dad used to be a pro MMA fighter back in the day. He's like, I took his day job and took his nickname. And man, what a performance! I think they were saying that he like broke the record for most significant strikes by a heavyweight in a 3-round fight, and it only went 2 rounds. So I'm like, dude, this dude is like nonstop
The,
action, bro. So I'm like, it seems like he's gonna be a future star if he can keep this up, man. The pacing he was putting on, Sean just couldn't keep up, and eventually it was just no more energy left, and Steven was just getting started and started piling on the punches on him. Eventually, the ref had to jump in and save him. So very impressed with Asplund, and definitely want to see him back in there relatively soon. Hopefully, he can have an active career and you know get lots more crazy performances like that, man. It was just crazy to see
hmm
someone that big, that active, and have that much cardio. It's like you normally expect those kind of bigger guys to kind of gas out, but he was just getting going. And I definitely think he's going to be one to watch for as long as he's around. Definitely going to be a fun fighter. I mean, 27 years old, still plenty of time to keep getting better. So hopefully we see him for years and years to come because he seems like he's going to be a fan favorite 100%.
With 100%, and this heavyweight division definitely needs exciting fighters
Yeah,
like
very
him.
true.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
People say exciting fighters and they try to pinpoint Josh Hockett. I pinpoint amazing fighters and I think of like what Vern Troyer, the midget. You know what I mean? Like long live. Sorry, rest in peace, Vern Troyer. He died like years ago, but like that's besides the point. But no. Talison Teixeira is the number 15 ranked. Number 14 ranked is Walter Walker. Josh Hockey was trying to get Walter Walker. He didn't. Instead, he got Who was it? Who did he get?
I can't remember, honestly.
Like I don't like Waldo Cortez Acosta got Derek Lewis, and I was like, oh my fucking god, that's actually scary
Yeah.
for both guys and everything, because like Waldo hits as hard as Derek does. So I'm very very excited to see how the number 5 ranked fights the number 8 ranked. But if we're
Yeah.
gonna go off of what Steven Aspen should be doing next, let him fight Josh Oakett.
Yeah,
Let
for
him
real, bro.
like
I'd be happy with that.
put him down, put that piece of shit down, put down the Incredible Hulk, and then just take his ass down. No homophobia here. Like, how do you start off a promo with, I want to take out, let me get to the end. I want to take out serial killers, pedophiles, rapists, freaking child murder, all these freaking horrible people, and transgender people. Like, how are you going to put transgender people into a category with all these shitty, horrible people and then say that they need to be normalized?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
here's something to normalize. Steven Asplin putting your jaw into the fucking ceiling, and then your ass fucking getting cut by the UFC.
yeah, I'm like, bro. I'm like, how about we just focus on fighting, bro? What are you doing, bro?
Right?
I'm like,
there's the one thing I always want to tell MMA fighters: shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah,
don't say a single word. Just shut the fuck up and just do your job. Like,
for
do
real,
your
bro.
damn job. Like, go on.
My favorite was when he was like, "Oh, I left the NFL." I'm like, "You left the NFL?" I'm like, "More like your ass got cut, bro." I'm like, "You're a practice squad player." I'm
You a
like, "What are you
practice squad
talking
player,
about?"
dude. Like, what are you talking about, dog? Like, don't
For
fuck
real,
with
bro.
me, you know?
Like,
Like,
come on.
we saw that shit right there. It's like freaking Trick Williams from NXT being like, the Eagles cut me because I was so good. You a practice squad, buddy.
Yeah, I'm like,
Bro,
what are you talking about?
all these, whether they're professional wrestlers or MMA fighters, they always want to be like, yeah, I could have made it in football, but I decided I want to be I want to be a fighter. No, you couldn't make it as an
Yeah,
NFL
I'm
player,
like,
MLB player, NFL player.
bro, I'm
Like,
like, why would you leave a job that pays millions for one that pays tens of thousands? I'm like, I wonder which one you really wanted to do more.
Like even
Tough
even
decision.
a shitty player like Alex Kappa, who used to play for the Bengals, got paid like what 6-7 million or whatever a
Yeah,
year.
for real, bro. I'm like,
Freaking Josh Hogan getting paid 5K to show up, 5K to win, and it's like, okay, good job. And then this is no slander or knock at any UFC fighter, any MMA fighter. But if you're going to say I left a freaking high $1 million to $1 billion job so that I can come here and fight, and you're fighting in the prelims and you're just a 5K 5 show up fighter, then nobody fucking cares, dude. You're
for
just
real,
yapping out of
bro.
your
I'm
mouth.
like, at least say I was cut. I'm like, don't say you left, bro.
Exactly,
There's a big difference.
exactly. Our next fight was featherweight action: Joanderson Brito against Isaac Thompson. We both went with Brito here because he's just been so entertaining,
Yeah.
very much of a dog, and it was a close one. This was a pretty damn close one right here, from what it looked like. Here, 29-28 on the judges' scorecards. But I want to say that Brito, I feel like, took a really good edge in each round, where he was just doing a lot of action and just keeping a pace up. Um, it's very interesting, this featherweight division, because we have Volkanovski as champion, but from the looks of it, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but Volkanovski has so many assassins on his freaking back
Yeah.
that
Fact.
2026 is going to be the hardest year for him to survive, because you have to deal with Lerone Murphy, you have to deal with Diego Lopez, you have to deal with Yair Rodriguez. There's so many people like that. Mosa Evolov and everything. And let's not forget Kevin Vallejos, who's just coming up right now.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk
My
about him later.
God. Exactly, like fucking chef kiss right there. What a fucking performance. But Joanderson Brito picks up the big win here over Isaac Thompson. Thankfully we both, went with this, because I even said to myself, like, I just Isaac Thompson here. And I didn't mean it in a bad way, but Joanderson Brito, I think I picked against him last time around. And I freaking ruined the day that. So I was like, you know what? I need to get myself back in action.
Yeah, he's solid.
Very, very solid, of course. His last couple of fights, since they don't have a Wikipedia page for him. Even though he lost his last 2 fights against Pat Sabatini and William Gomez. William Gomez has really been a top-notch fighter. Pat Sabatini, he's like 40, right? Like, he's almost close to like 40 or something like that, Pat Sabatini. So I don't know.
He's 35, so I mean 5 years away.
Yeah, he I fucking just put that old on him, like, wow. But Sabatini, I believe you picked him recently, and I picked against him, and so it was just not a good action there.
Yeah,
But
he's solid.
Jack Short, Jonathan Pierce, Weston Wilson, Lucas Alexander, and Andre Feely were all finished by Joannis and Brito. For him to come out and be losing to Lane Thompson, it was something else. Lane was making his debut here, coming off of wins over Israel Delgado, Jeremy Henry over Rear Naked Choke, and Akbarjan Ismabayev at the LFA Thompson versus Ismabayev main event card. This past October, 2 months later, he makes his UFC debut, and Joannis Brito does not knock him out. It's a very close, pretty quick fight. But of course, by unanimous decision, Joannis Brito picks up the win here. What were your thoughts on him getting out of the losing streak and finally getting back into the win column?
Yeah, they threw him against a young up-and-comer from LFA, and only 23 years old, Thompson was. And he impressed me with his resilience, not getting finished in there, but he was a little bit outmatched against someone like Brito, just such a beast, and has fought a lot of really good fighters. And he just used that experience and that physical dominance to really control most of the fight. And I think, yeah, get a solid performance right there. I think that Thompson's going to be someone that should be able to bounce back from this. I was impressed with him. I was expecting Brito to kind of have an easy night, but ended up being a little bit closer than I expected. But I definitely am happy with the decision. Good work for Brito. Brito's just a really mean dude in there, and really, really tough fighter. And it's good to have him back in that win column. He's such a good fighter. You don't expect someone that good to be going on a 3-fight losing streak. So thankfully he was able to get back on track, prevent the 3-fight losing streak. And now we'll see what happens from here. Is he gonna be active in 2026? We'll see. But yeah, really solid performance against a really fun up-and-comer in Thompson, who hopefully we'll be seeing back again. And hopefully he'll be back in the win column because he showed a lot of heart, and I was impressed, especially early on. He was looking solid.
And with that win there, I believe that he is ready for a ranked fight after so long in the UFC. The 3 fighters that they could set him up against is the number 15, Giga Chikazi, who fought Kevin Vallejos this past weekend, David Onama, who fought a couple of months ago against Steve Garcia in the main event, and Dan Ige, who lost to Patricio Pitbull at UFC 318. I believe those 3 fighters right there are the perfect option to have Brito try to make his way through the rankings. If not, then Patricio Pitbull, who's coming off that big win, there could be a fight for Brito to take. Two power punchers who can wrestle. Because Gene Silva is scheduled to fight Arnold Allen soon. Josh Emmett has not been announced for anything. Brian Ortega, I don't think has been announced for anything. So that top 15 to 10 is really like weird. You could put him against the fighter who's coming off a loss, because that fighter is going to have to now overcome that and save the ranking spot.
Yeah.
Or you could just just throw him against like one of the top 10 guys and just see how it goes from there. Usually the UFC does that. We saw that with Peter Yan and his opponent he fought prior to Murad Abdullah. I'm trying to remember.
Was it McGee?
Yeah, Marcus McGee, was it?
I believe so.
Yeah, Marcus McGee, who was like the 14th ranked fighter in that division. If he would have won, he would have been top 3. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, he put up a good fight, man. He put up a good-ass fight.
Joshua Venn was the last guy to really make it from like a 14 rank to a top 3 after beating Royval, and now he's champion off of a freak accident.
Yeah.
That's just shocker. Still to this day, I'm just like, wow, like I can't believe we witnessed that.
Yeah, that's gross. Ugh.
Our next fight should have been a performance night bonus because he's making his UFC debut and he defeated somebody who's one of the all-time submission specialists. Yaroslav Almasov versus Neil Magny. I don't want to mention one thing here. While these fights were happening, while this card was happening, earlier in the day they had a PFL card in Lyon. And the main event was Ferreira, one of the former heavyweight contenders and everything. I'm trying to remember, Rafael Ferreira versus Vadim Nemkov. Vadim Nemkov I spoke to about a year ago. When he was a year or 2 ago, when he was supposed to fight Corey Anderson, he did fight Corey Anderson. The first fight, it ended with an elbow to the eyebrow. The fight was called off. Nemkov couldn't compete, so they called it off. It was a illegal move, whatever the fuck it was. You know how the Bellator and PFL are stupid as fuck. But so they fought months later. I was part of the press call for the event. I spoke to Corey Anderson. I told him there's levels to this, as he said once to Johnny Walker. There's levels to this. What are you gonna do to try to beat Vadim Nemkov? And he said, I'm gonna try to wrestle him. Nemkov went into that fight, landed a big, beautiful knee, and knocked out Corey Anderson. I'm like, and then Nemkov this past weekend. If you haven't seen that fight against Ferreira yet for the heavyweight title, watch it. Vadim Nemkov he wrestles like he's in a war because he generally was in the Ukraine war. Him and Yaroslav Amosov, like both former Bellator champions, were having to go to Ukraine in the war, fight for their country, bury their championships underneath their houses, and then get it out before they travel back to the States to go and fight for Bellator, which they won both their fights. They stayed dominant. Nemkov, the way he fights is like he's trying to kill you. He takes you down, and the first thing he's doing is throwing these like 5 right hooks to your dome. He's not laying and praying like we see with most fighters. Laying and praying, waiting a minute, throwing a punch, trying to get to the side control, not being able to, and just staying there. Vadim Nemkov literally took Pereira's back and then took his, stomach and then got him in the top mount and then got him in the arm triangle and then made him submit. So Nemkov already, I saw it early in the day, a dominant, submission performance. I was like, Yaroslav is gonna choke out Neil Magny, and people were like, "I think you're crazy." I ain't crazy. We fucking saw that happen in the first freaking round. Like, there's no denying Yaroslav Amosov. There's no denying how good he is. He's a former Bellator champion. He's been through 5-round wars. He was gonna go into a 3-round fight with Neil Magny, who Magny's been one of the most top dogs that there is. That welterweight division has seen him fight everybody, legit, every single person that there possibly is, and the crazy part about all of this is Magny isn't even ranked anymore. Magny used to be one of the top ranked guys and everything. He's not even ranked. Daniel Rodriguez has a spot. Jeff Neal, Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns, Gabriel Bonfim, and Joaquin Buckley. And here's what I want to say for all 5 of those guys. They're all fucked when it comes to Yaroslav Amosov. I truly believe that this guy will go through the entire competition like nothing. Daniel Rodriguez is a great striker who can control the wrestling. But if Yaroslav gets him down, that's a very bad day. Jeff Neal, he's not really been tested with the wrestling because he has so much good hands. But after being knocked by Carlos Prates, we're trying to wonder, is he going to try to be very different in his fight style, or is he going to keep going back in the same way? Colby Covington is a bitch. Nobody fucking likes him. so if anything, I'm praying to God that he gets knocked out cold in his next fight. Gilbert Burns, it's so sad to see you. Gilbert used to be this scary contender who would kill everybody in his path, and then the contender started to rise up, and now he's been on a 4 or 5 fight losing streak, recently to Michael Morales in that main event. Since then, we haven't seen him, so I believe that Yaroslav Amosov should be getting a main event against Gilbert Burns, against Gabriel Bonfim, against Joaquin Buckley, any of those 15 and 10 guys. Yeah, they're right there. He's already a former Bellator champion. He's already dominated the entire freaking scene. There's no telling what his ceiling is when it comes to the UFC because he's dominated so much. People would want to bring up that, he lost to Jason Jackson by knockout in November of 2023. After that, he beat Curtis Millender and Cage Fury, signed with the UFC, and tapped out Neil Magny. But prior to that, Logan Storley, Douglas Lima, Mark Leninger, Ed Ruth, David Rickens, Eric Silva, former UFC talent, Gerald Harris. All of these guys were dominated by Yaroslav Amosov by his wrestling. He was literally 27-0 before losing to Jackson in the most shocking way possible. And he defended and unified the Bellator Welterweight Championship before losing it to Jason Jackson, who, no offense to I'm sorry. It says that I got added to a group on Instagram. I guess my one of those porn bot accounts baby, this up a good time. It's in my big voluptuous titties.
You're let me respond real quick.
I'll get stabbed by doing that. Jason Jackson knocked him out, but besides that, he's literally 29-1. Yaroslav Amosov is more than freaking ready to take on the ranking. Give him a top 8 opponent, he'll fight them. Give him a top 5, top 10, top 15, he'll take him on. But what were your thoughts on him picking up this big win here in the feature prelim over Neil freaking Magny?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it coming a little bit, but it's not like he's going in there against some washed Neil Magny who's, a complete scrub who hasn't been able to get a win. Magny was coming off 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, finishes.
Yeah, so it's not like Magny's like some dude who's not UFC worthy anymore, and he's just maybe not as good as he once was, but he's still able to get some wins and really surprise some people here and there. But in this case, there was going to be no surprises. Yaroslav with the dominant performance, dominant finish, only needed 1 round, and showed exactly like you were saying, he's ready for those rankings immediately. When you're able to do that to Neil Magny, I think safe to say ready for the rankings, and I think it's going to be really interesting who's he going to match up with, and who's going to be potentially his next victim. If they give him someone that he can just take down and choke out, then this dude we might be talking about title run if he can get if he gets a few ranked wins. Then 29-1 is just such a crazy record to have, and to have that record this late into your career, and even though it's Bellator, lots of title fights, that brings a lot of experience, and then hopefully he's going to bring that experience over to the UFC once he starts getting in those. Maybe he'll have a main event in a fight night or something, so we'll be able to see those 5-round experience come out. And yeah, he's a super exciting guy, and just a badass in and out of the cage 100%. So the welterweight's got to be on watch for this dude. The Ukrainian
Very
coming in,
so.
He might
Exactly.
be dangerous for him.
Another heavyweight that I feel like could make the move to the UFC and get a big signing there is Vadim Nemkov.
Mm-hmm.
Like PFL is always fumbling the bag with a lot of fighters. Kayla Harrison for one. Even Francis Ngannou was like, "Oh, I want to come back," even though no offense to Francis, but you're confusing the fuck out of me, buddy. How are you gonna say no to fighting Jake Paul when you can easily knock his ass out for millions of dollars? Like, put him to sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, I was so confused by it. They offered me money, and I was just so confused as to why they wanted me to fight Jake.
And now Joshua's taking the money, bro. Now everyone's gonna be hype about Joshua knocking his ass out.
Exactly. It's like we could have had a knockout situation here, but freaking Francis Ngannou's like, I'm confused. They offered me a check, and I'm confused. If somebody gave me $1 million to freaking go and freaking clothesline a freaking, I don't know, any person in the world, I'll fucking do it. Like, I'll give him the biggest lawyer in the world. I'll right hook a freaking grandma. I don't care. Like, just give me the goddamn money. Freaking, it's time, mother.
So weird. You'd think that he'd be confident enough to just be like, I'll take that bag in an easy, quick night. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's nervous about it.
Here's my thing. If he would have knocked out Jake Paul, I feel like Dana would have been like, "Hey, man, you miss me? You want to come back to the UFC? I'm down." Like, that would have been the perfect opportunity. Dana hates Jake Paul so much. You knock his ass out, then everyone's like,
exactly, bro. Now Joshua's going to get all that clout and all that attention from knocking out Jake, hopefully. I mean, fingers crossed, bro.
Well,
he better, dude, if Jake somehow gets that done, I'm going to be on suicide watch.
Oh, trust me, I will be too. Everyone's gonna have to check in on me. Rami, what's wrong? And I'm like, fuck you.
Anyways, I haven't left the bed since.
Man, but after Amaslav won there, we got you a 4-2 win. I tied it up. I stayed in my 500% right there.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have picked Jamie Lynn Horth or any of those three,
bro, Fry let us down, bro.
Fry let us down so hard, dude. Like, my God. But besides that, it was a really good one because at the end of the day, we got ourselves the main card, and God is good because at last minute I was like, "Hey, babe, I'm changing my pickup." I threw my phone. I was like, "God, please."
Bro, like this guy, bro.
I don't know what it was. I just had a feeling. I was like, Brandon Royval is having too much fun this week. He's going shopping with his crew. He's all enjoying himself, cracking jokes. Manel Kape is in a freaking dark room, all fucking heaving and fucking shaking his head like the Exorcist.
Yeah.
We don't fucking know what he's doing. And all of a sudden, bam, first round, big moves.
Yeah, dude.
But before we get into that, Bobby Green, now known as King Green.
Exactly. Gotta say it right.
He fought Lance Gibson Jr. And it was he doesn't feel like it was.
What?
He doesn't feel like it was a split decision.
I agree with him. Yeah. What the fuck?
Bobby messed him up. Bobby was going crazy here.
For real, bro.
King was going crazy here. having some freaking like Tekken type of name over here.
Yeah, bro. He fights like that too, bro. He's just walking them down. I'm like, oh
Like
my
he has the
god,
arms down. Like I was like, please, brother, put your arms up. He's like, this is my ghetto
bro.
style. I'm like,
We
all right,
picked
brother.
Gibson, and that was a big mistake, bro. It was
It
prime. It
was.
was prime King, bro. Prime King Green went back to
And
prime Bobby.
yeah, after he freaking got completely messed up by Patty Pimblett, months ago and
Yeah,
everything.
and
Like
Rufy knocked his ass out with that spinning heel
yeah,
kick
yeah, he did,
straight to
he
the
did.
dome. But bro got the
Like
revive and is back.
the last time he won was at UFC 300 last year against
Yeah.
Jim Miller, which we were like, we're happy that Jim got the fight, but we were like, really? Like Bobby, come on. Which how we all are. We wanted to be scripted in a way we were our favorites to kind of win, but it
Yeah.
can't be that way. This is MMA, unless you're Jason Herzog refereeing a fight.
Yeah, exactly. Then things might go your way.
They might go your way. It was nowhere near the decision for us. King Green definitely
Yeah.
dominated the scene. What were your thoughts of him being able to get back into that win column?
Bro, yeah, what a dominant win. Really needed that after the 2 finishes back to back, the 2 losses back to back. And man, he made us look really dumb picking Gibson, and he was just dominating him the whole fight. I have no idea how it was a split decision. The judges were straight on one on that one, so thankfully he didn't get robbed. I'm like, how is that even possible that someone could score for Gibson? I'm like, Gibson was barely throwing at all, and Bobby was throwing everything and defending super well despite his hands being down. And dude, I was cracking up watching him just walk him down, not even throwing any punches, and Gibson is just like running. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? I'm like, he's not even punching you. I'm like, come on, dude. He was in Gibson's head bad, and you can't let that happen when you're against someone like Bobby Green or King Green, my bad, who
see, how can we know?
I know, literally, bro, who is going to be talking shit to you in there, fucking taunting you the entire time, like, come on, hit me, come on, hit me. And then he does this crazy head movement, like shoulder roll, footwork. He was just barely able to be touched and was doing lots more damage. So I have no idea how the hell someone comes away with a Gibson scorecard. So that judge needs to be investigated for sure.
It's probably me sneaking in and being like, no,
yeah, exactly, bro. I'm like, we need it for the picks, please.
Come on.
But
I take round 3, you take round 1. You're like, all right, let's just switch that
bro,
up right
bro.
there.
It was prime Bobby once again, fucking dominating.
The next fight was so fucking awful. Like I'm not saying it off in like a mean way, but it was just like, what the Marcus Bucheska, we were not going for him. We didn't even think about going for him. We were like, nah,
definitely not.
Mr. Kennedy with the freaking big old mic, like it's WWE all over again.
Yo, he's like fucking massive.
I know. Like I had the fights on in my living room. My fucking mom passed by. She was trying to pronounce his last name. I'm like, don't worry, you won't be able to. Like I told her, like all due respect to her because she saw the door and everything. I was like, dude, trust me. Like it's hard to pronounce most of these fighters' name. Like she saw the Cezary Olejczyk, and I'm shocked I was able to say that.
There we go.
Right now.
Yeah.
But you see, like how fucking hard it takes. It takes weeks and months. I'm like Michael Olejczyk, freaking Cezary Olejczyk. Like my God, like you gotta have that. Like it took a while for me to get that Joanna Jacek name, but once I got it, I was like, dude, it's the easiest name to say. Joanna Jacek, Joanna Jacek, Joanna Jacek. Like come on, 3 times in a row. Like you make that a freaking trick.
Like a tongue twister.
Freaking trick, like, seriously. But Marcus Buchecha, the reason why we all went against him was because like the last time he got a win was in 2024 for one championship over Amir Alekbari. After that, he made his UFC debut this past July, where he lost to Martin Buday. I don't know who he went for in that fight. We'll have to look at the pick'ems and everything like that for that card. But I feel like I didn't. I think I may have went for Martin Buday. I think we may have.
Yeah, I think so.
Buday.
Yeah, Buday's pretty. Not the worst.
Yeah, Buday, you automatically can tell like, oh, he's the type of guy he'll put you against the cage and just punch you for 3 rounds straight.
He's a big boy.
So, like exactly, he'll just press you against that locker room and be like, "Where's your lunch money?" Stop punching you in the gut. Like, okay, brother. But Kennedy and Zetsukubu, it's so crazy how he's a heavyweight because we used to watch him at middleweight. It was like golly.
Yeah, I'm like, how did he make that weight, bro? He's huge.
I know.
He's fucking massive.
like he made it. It was a sorry, light heavyweight. He fought in his first two fights. Then he went to like turn a heavyweight. Like it's so confusing because he fought Ovin St. Preux and Dustin Jacoby 2 years ago and lost both fights. And he fought Chris Barnett, which everyone could beat Chris Barnett. I mean it in the most respectful way possible. If he can land a good punch on you, yeah, you might be rocked. But big boy is big boy for a reason. That man is staying in that center of the octagon and he's not moving. Like, Lucas Brzeski got knocked out by Kenny Nzechukwu and Walter Walker. Did we go for Walter Walker? Or did I go with I don't know.
Yeah, I
I feel
can't
like I
remember
might
that one.
that was a crazy one because that was the Lewis and Teixeira card, which now is being investigated because Jason Herzog may have put a freaking parlay in and everything like that. And then
Seemed
I
like a good
remember when we
stoppage to me.
I remember when we did the freaking show, you and Brady were like, I don't know, Rami. Talenton just didn't do good. He was holding onto the cage, and I'm like, well, fuck this shit. I quit.
So it's
Like,
fucking rigged.
and then now it's rigged. I'm like,
You're like, maybe you got
I
a
feel
point.
like I was gassing it. I was gassing it, man. But
Me and Brady, the master gaslighters.
like literally, I gotta put a freaking lawsuit on you guys. But Kenny and Nzechukwu and Marcus Buchecha go to the draw. It was a very, very weird. It was a very close fight to where you kind of got to give it the draw because both guys
Yeah.
had wrestling on them. Both guys had the almost point deductions on them
Yeah,
and
I think it
whatnot
wasn't
because
there
they
an eye
illegal.
poke, I think, right? Kennedy, I
Yeah,
think.
Kennedy got eye poked and everything. So I'm like, come on now. But
Yeah.
in the end, it's a draw that really does not matter at all because like, where do they go from here? Kennedy is nowhere near the top 15. Marcus is nowhere near a freaking like an employment line. Like I really don't I don't understand what could happen going forward after this. But what
Yeah.
were your thoughts on the heavyweight bout?
Yeah. So it's basically perfect encapsulation of the heavyweight UFC at the moment, where both guys, look pretty scary, but then they go in there and go to a decision. I'm like, you would
Hmm.
expect heavyweights to be finishing all the time with how big they are and how much power they have, but another decision for the heavyweights on the card. Shout out to Asplund, was representing them well with the finish. So, at least we have Asplund to look forward to. But yeah, Kennedy, man, we went with him, but the eye poke and kind of underwhelming performance, it's tough. He has such a crazy build and such crazy physical tools. So you'd expect this dude to just go in there, keep dudes on the back foot with his length and just use that size to his advantage, but he just has not been able to put it all together yet. I do think that the move up to heavyweight is good, so there's that, but man, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I don't know where they go from here. Definitely a tough draw where both guys needed a win, but neither of them come out with it. So it's tough for both of them. The heavyweights is in dire situation. Hopefully, Asplund can come in and save everyone because we need personality and actual banger fights to be put on, and this one
Yeah,
wasn't one of them.
I completely agree. And by like personalities, we do not need homophobia to be entering the octagon and thinking that that's gonna win fight. Like, look at
Mm-hmm.
Charles Radke. You know what I mean? Look at Charles Radke. He could spit an
Yeah,
F slur out, and people are like, hell
so
yeah, brother. And
the
I'm like,
beast.
based woke. But yeah, thank you so much to all over 300 of you that are tuned in right now, hearing us yap and everything.
Yep.
If you're tuning in, if you have any comments or questions about I don't know, the size of the moon or like I don't know, how chocolate tastes or whatever, or like how Marcus Buchecha might get cut in like a week or so.
Yeah,
Merry Christmas, you're cut from the UFC. Could you imagine a UFC roster cuts on Christmas?
they're
Hey
like,
man,
sorry guys, you're out.
how's your kid's Christmas? All good, man. Thank you so much for employing me. That's great. That's great. You're fired. Like, okay,
Sorry about it.
whatever. Our next fight was a very, very
Yeah.
tricky one
Oh.
because no one knew who to pick really, but like we
We
were
did.
like, we're gonna pick. We did. We're gonna pick Costa, but Morgan Sharia had never been knocked out,
Mm-hmm.
and he
That
got his
changed.
head taken off. What a shocker! What a big match! What a fight! First round in, first minute in, and Costa gets a perfect sight of a knockout blow, lands that head kick, takes down Charrier, and gets the big win here. But what's crazy is that this no bonus.
Yeah, well, that's what I was
No
gonna say.
bonus.
This is the one that's a straight bullshit, bro. How do you not get a bonus for that?
Like Stephen Aspen deserved the bonus. Yaroslav Amosov deserved the bonus because, of course, Jamie Lynn Horth. If you didn't want to give her the bonus, if you don't want to give her the bonus, then you're stupid. But like she deserved the bonus as well. There was only 3 finishes on the prelim card. The rest were 3 finishes, 3 decisions. Those 3 finishes should have gotten a bonus. So, and then we kick off the card with decision. We all know that's not going to be no freaking bonus material. Kenny Nzechukwu and Marcus Bukchechka. Okay, that's not going to be a bonus because that was a freaking draw. What the hell? But then Costa and Morgan to get a knockout there, to finally
Yeah,
knock out Morgan, you don't get a damn bonus. Like
for real, bro. In what 1 minute? Like seriously, a 1 minute
1 minute
head
and
kick
14
KO
seconds,
doesn't get you a
a minute and
bonus.
14 freaking seconds, basically a minute flat because it takes you like 10 seconds to get out there and everything unless you're freaking Hamza Shamayev and you're going for
Yeah,
the ankle pick. But like Costa knocked out Morgan.
so nasty head kick.
Mass,
Oh my
massive
god.
freaking win here. Featherweight division is on notice because this guy is just too freaking good. And the crazy part is neither guy is ranked, but both guys should be freaking ranked at this point. But especially Costa. Costa's been doing
Yeah,
such great work recently. What were your thoughts on his big win here? And what do you
yeah,
think is next for him?
yeah. Other than being robbed of that bonus, dude, I'm still pissed about that. What a performance, dude. Shaye is one of those fighters who has shown a lot of potential. He's a little inconsistent, like win loss, but when he's on, he's putting on amazing performances. So for him to be able to make Morgan look that easily, make him look that easy, and he just absolutely destroyed him with that head kick really quickly, man. Costa's looking more and more dangerous every single time we see him, bro. That was his first ever KO, TKO in the UFC. We've seen him submit some dudes. So if he's able to round out his game and start being that dangerous on the feet and on the ground, this dude's going to be a major, major problem. He's now won 5 straight, and 3 of those being finishes. So this dude is having all the momentum in the world. Like you said, he should be ranked possibly after this. If not, then throw him a ranked opponent in his next fight and get him in there because this dude is the real deal. And
Holyfield.
29 years old, so plenty of time to, keep getting better. And we see him every time out there improving, getting better, adding new stuff to his game. So the featherweights definitely got to be on the lookout as this guy keeps making his way up the rankings. Definitely going to be either ranked maybe this tomorrow, they might rank him, or give him a ranked fighter in his next fight because he's earned it at this point. Putting on performances like that.
Oh, yeah.
Should have got the fucking damn bonus. I don't understand that. You can knock out a dude out cold in 1 minute where he's laying face first, not even knowing where he is. And he was nice enough to not do the follow-up shots. And you don't get any bonus. What a robbery. But
so we know one thing though about the rankings, that number 15 Giga Chikaze will be removed after his loss.
Yep. Yeah.
So we have a new 15 ranked there, with his opponent. But
Mm,
David Onama and Dan Ige could honestly get removed from that. No offense to Dan Ige, but like I feel like Costa with the win streak he's been having and whatnot is in a way more impactful, more important for this
yeah.
division.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure, bro. I'm like, come on. And after that
five fight
knockout,
five fight win streak with a head kick knockout. Julian Erosa, Christian Rodriguez, a guillotine choke over Andre Fili, Sherilyn, I don't know how to say that last name, got a rear naked choke on him and everything. Like the only time he lost was to Steve Garcia, in 2023. Since then, Steve Garcia has ranked himself up to the top 8. He's on a 7 fight
yeah.
win streak. So it's understandable. But David Onama got knocked out by Steve Garcia. So if anything, we might have to just remove David Onama or Dan Ige from that ranking and give it to Vallejos and
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Costa because
I
these
agree.
guys are top dogs.
Yeah.
Our next fight was Cesare Olajaychik versus Cesar Almeida. And just really nothing to say besides Cesare Olajaychik is a freaking monster at wrestling, and there's this
Mhm.
complete pure dominance from him. I don't know what else to say besides like my God, like what a freaking dog he was.
Yeah.
This was his UFC debut, they said, or is
Yep.
this like his UFC
Yeah.
debut? Let's go to his record. Sorry about that, my freaking thing's all acting up. Go to because I'm not trying to pop him up. There we go. Up to 17-3 right now. He's on a massive five-fight win streak and defeating Cesar Almeida by decision. But prior to that, he was in the Contender Series. He defeated Theo Haig by hammer fist in 36 seconds. He defeated Tom Breeze, former UFC vet, with a punch in the first minute. Marcus Anushka, he fought in a modified boxing cage at Prime Show MMA. He beat him with 3 knockdowns in the first round.
Sheesh.
Like, great. Like, the fact that he can dominate with the wrestling is already like, wow. But the fact that he can dominate with the freaking striking as well is like, we got Hamza Chimaev with freaking more power than Hamza Chimaev. And no offense to his opponent Cesar Almeida, but I've seen Cesar fight recently, and it's just been like, what else can you get better with besides trying to stuff these takedowns and trying to get better with these fights? He defeats Abdul Razak Al Hassan, which feels like an easy fight to really get. You know what I mean? Abdul has his here and there's of like I will do good, but then I will not really do the best.
Yeah.
Recently he got that big win by submission, I believe. No, he did not. Who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Abdul. Wait, no, fuck yeah, they do have similar
Abdul
names.
Malik.
Yeah,
Abdul
yeah.
Malik.
There we go. Yeah.
I feel so fucked up. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, is this the same guy? Like, Ihor Poteria was defeated by Cesar Almeida. Roman Kopylov defeated Cesar Almeida. So in his last, like, let's say 5, he's 3-2. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like he's some scrub, and Jacek made it look easy. He made him look like a scrub.
Exactly. Dilis Burka and Lucas Fernando also both lost to Cesar Almeida for the Contender Series and for his debut fight. So he was doing pretty good for himself. Got a performance of the night bonus twice, and then he fought here against Cezary Olejczyk, and Olejczyk proved to be just a complete dominant sport for him. What were your thoughts on Cesary's win?
Really impressive win. Yeah, like we were saying, Almeida's not some scrub that is just like an easy out, but he made him seem like an easy out, and what a performance, man. He's definitely going to be one of those guys that we're going to have to keep an eye on if he's making it look that easily, that dominant against someone like Almeida, who, is no world beater, but to control him basically the entire fight and outland him so much, like it was just complete domination from start to finish, 30-27, 100%. So, hate to see it for Almeida, but for Oleg Jacek, definitely is an exciting prospect to keep an eye on. And, 25 years old, another young gun, and we've had a lot of them in this card. So we'll probably be seeing some of these winners for a long time after this card, where they all have years and years, maybe even a decade if they fight long enough of action. So this could be one of those cards we look back on and we're like, oh, this is even more stacked than I remembered, where these guys are just kind of making a name for themselves now. And then a few years down the line, we're talking about ranked opponents, talking about potential, title contenders, depending on the fighter. So really full of prospects this card was, 100%.
Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here, as Limp Bizkit would say, but that was great. That was a great explanation, of course, of how crazy these rankings do get, of course, and how crazy that the next year could very well be. Because, like I said, this might be one of our final episodes of the year, but we still might even come together before Christmas or after Christmas and talk about like the potential predictions for champions in the new year. Champions in the new year. Oh. I'm hoping that Bilal Muhammad can bring back the Palestinian roots and get that championship back, but
revenge.
It's so freaking scary right now, because he might have to move up to middleweight, because Islam Makhachev is like, brother, get that out of my way. Don't even be here.
He's like, find a new camp if you want to fight me.
Find a new camp too, man. Find a new freaking camp. But heading into our next fight, I almost went different with this one. I'm so glad I did. I was like, no, I'm gonna trust Vallejos. If I lose, I lose. I don't care. But I was like, I'm gonna trust this guy because he's such a good freaking striker. And at first, Giga Chikadze was looking pretty good for himself. You know what I mean? It looked like he was having himself a good time.
Yeah. Hitting the body with the kicks. Oof.
Yeah. First round was like pretty freaking close and everything. And I was like, we might see something crazy. and then he taunted him. And that was the dumbest thing to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're up against the cage, he did like this, like, oh, you're not gonna hurt me. And then Vallejo said, all right, spinning back fist,
Yeah.
freaking got his jaw, dropped him. That finish was so freaking like scary. Like
Mm-hmm.
the
Bro.
fact that he got him like a crucifix and elbow, 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 elbow,
Yeah.
elbow.
It was
He
like,
he
oh.
gave he gave him a French toast experience to his freaking dome. I was like, brother, that was a press like no tomorrow. Just kill him, ooh, kill him, ooh, kill him.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But Vallejos picks up the win here. He picks up the performance. I bit my tongue. And he picks up the performance of the night bonus. That's the first time ever I bit my tongue in the show. I was like, fuck, that hurt. Like the side of my fucking tongue. Like, oh lord. Vallejos picks up a big win here, rightfully so. The
Mm-hmm.
bonus.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. At least he got one. You know, they're kind
yeah,
of
and he
stinky with them.
like we said, he will be the number 15 ranked fighter in the new year. And there's just so much for him to for him to dominate. There's like we said, David Onama, Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull, Gene Silva, Josh Emmett, Brian Ortega, Steve Garcia, Yusuf Salal, Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, Lerone Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
Yair Rodriguez. Those 15-3 guys, crazy work.
Yeah.
Um, and so I truly believe that Vallejos has every ability in the world. If he could stay the way that he's fighting, if he can be the most feared freaking striker that there possibly is against every single person, then hell yeah for him. But here's some challenges I think that he'll have to deal with, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Silva is a really good power puncher,
Yeah, and
and
they
we
already
saw only
fought. Yeah, they fought,
yeah,
and it was a decision for Silva. So we could see a rematch.
exactly. We could see a rematch. We could even see a co-main event slot with them. Steve Garcia fought him, correct? Or am I? He might have. I
Um,
believe. Hold on, let me go look at because I might be smoking dick here. Um, no, he beat Costa. He knocked out Costa Vallejos, which is a shocker because it's like Costa has been such a dominant reign that him
mm-hmm.
being knocked out by freaking Steve Garcia, it feels like Garcia is like that. No one can really reach me level.
Yeah.
But then we go into besides Garcia. What the fuck? Sorry. I went on the freaking wrong ass list. But after Garcia, there's Yusuf Zalal, who's on an 8-fight winning streak, who very well could be the next title challenger. There's no telling, there's no denying that whatsoever. Arnold Allen is finally back in the game. He's be fighting Gene Silva at UFC 324
Mm-hmm.
um next month.
I'm hyped for that
Next
one.
month,
Sheesh.
yeah, Allen versus Silva. I'm scared for Allen a bit because Silva, he's thinking of
Yeah.
revenge. He lost to Diego Silva in the most humiliating way
Yeah,
possible.
Diego Lopez.
So
Yeah, that was nasty. Oof.
I know that
Beat
what
him
was
up.
it? It's San Antonio. It was with the UFC Noche event and everything.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
Diego came in there. He was so angry because he was like, "I deserve to be champion. Silva's in
Mm-hmm.
my way." And Silva even challenged him. He said, "Take me down. Go ahead, try to take me down." And he did.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
holy
like, say
shit!
less,
Like
bro. I got you.
Aljamain Sterling could be a fighter for Vallejos to fight because the wrestling, the dominant wrestling against the dominant striker, I would definitely love to see that. Lerone Murphy should not be fighting anybody but the champion. Same with Yair, and same with Lopez, and same with Mosar. Those four should all be fighting for the. Sorry, Diego Lopez is fighting for the championship already, UFC 325,
Mm-hmm.
February 1st in Sydney, Australia, which should be a very great card. We will
Yeah.
definitely be going over all of those cards. Really, all the pay-per-view cards that we see before we end the show, we'll definitely be going over them and whatnot and seeing how they, fare out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but sorry, that was weird. But of course, what were your thoughts on Vallejos picking up this big spinning back fist and elbow win over Giga Chikadze, handing him his first knockout loss? I believe this was.
Let me see.
Was it his first? Giga's first
Yep.
knockout
Yeah.
loss?
First ever
It
time,
was.
man. That is crazy, bro. Sheesh. All the guys that Giga's fought, how many hits he's
I
taken,
know.
and Vallejos is the one to get him out of there, bro. So yeah, Kevin is just an absolute little. He's like a little guy, but he's so damn powerful, dude. I was definitely sweating it out early in that first round where Giga was using his range, using that signature liver kick where he was just sneaking it right under the elbow of Kevin, and Kevin was definitely feeling him, but he was not breaking to him, and was able to find that moment in that second round after maybe he dropped the first round and had Giga against the cage, had him unsuspecting, and he throws in that spinning back fist and drops him, and then Giga's arm falling, and he like traps his arm on the ground.
I know.
And oh
That
my
scared the
gosh,
fuck
it's
out of
such a
me.
violent finish where you're like, holy shit, we have to jump in now, bro. He's almost dead, bro.
Yeah, dude. By the third elbow, I was like, referee, you should have already pushed this man off.
Yeah.
Like, he was just,
I'm like, holy.
he was
Whew.
pressing cookies, my God. Like, he was killing that man. Like, golly, stop. He's already dead. Like, and
Yeah.
then the scary part was Giga trying to get up and him squirming around. And when he stood up, he legit, it looked like he said, "Where am I?"
Mm-hmm.
Like he was out of it. Like, my God. And
Bro,
like we said, we've seen this guy, nicknamed the Ninja, freaking fight everybody. Like, go on from Alex Caceres, Arnold Allen, David Onama, Calvin Cater, Edson Barboza, Cub Swanson, so many fighters that he's fought. And not once have those people ever put him in danger. And then we see him fight Kevin Vallejos, and it's a whole completely different story. That Vallejos is like, my God, I can do that to him. What can I do? Like, because Giga Chikaze went from being like top 5 ranked to now being 15th ranked, to
possibly
now
unranked.
To now being not ranked anymore at all. Like, holy moly! I cannot wait to see how those rankings look.
And Kevin, another young one, 24 years old, bro. I'm like, the young dudes were freaking putting on a show this card, dude. So yeah, Kevin's up and coming, and he's gonna be around for a long, long time, man. What a beast.
The future is now, old man. Basically, is what the young fighters was basically telling these guys.
Yeah.
When I'm gonna go to most of where my sources are, for MMA, we have not gotten anything except for this Friday is the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm hyped for that one.
We might have to come again on Thursday or Friday or something, and just do a little bit of like just a random stream of like, you know what, Joshua's gonna kill him. I go watch it.
I'm predicting Jake. JK. Fuck Jake.
Did you hear about Ilya Topuria?
Yeah, bro. Both trying to be like McGregor a little too much, bro.
Not good at all.
Not good, bro.
Not good at all. No wonder people were talking. I just saw this right now. I'm like, oh, okay. So that happened. Before, because I'm looking at Helwani's show is live right now. They have Kevin Vallejos, Patrick Habanero, Tyson Pedro, and Shakur Stevenson on for today. We won't be able to have the Vallejos comments, but we will be able to see a bunch of the fights that were announced and everything a couple of days ago. Because there were pretty much a couple ones. Hold on. Like Amir Abazi will fight Kyoji Horiguchi. They announced during the they announced the first
that'll be a good one.
Night. We have Yoran Satabayev versus Julius Walker at light heavyweight. Jean Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. Michael Olajaychik versus Marc-Andre Barnard. Ryan Superman Spence versus Razan Kuniev. Amir Abazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. And the first Apex main event will be a 5-round main event bantamweight bout between Mario Batista and Vinicius Oliveira. I like that fight. That fight's really entertaining when you have crowd.
Yeah, right. But for real, we'll have the freaking 15 fans watching.
They claim that there's gonna be more fans there, but
they're like, we used all the $1 billion that we made from the deal to add another fucking another bleacher.
Exactly. We were supposed to get Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robinson on this card.
Yeah.
It was canceled, and it was moved to March 14 now. That's like 3 freaking months from now. Like, my God, okay.
Damn.
It was reportedly due to a medical issue suffered by Lemos. Robinson confirmed on her IG stories.
Yeah, I saw that. She was like, medical issues, in quotes. I was dying.
Yeah. Jan Blachowicz has called out Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill accepted as well, so we might be getting a big fight right there.
I'd like that one.
I like that because Jamal Hill threatening to fight a woman because he was with a side piece is the most stupidest thing you possibly do. And then Jan Blachowicz coming in like, brother, you're gonna freaking threaten my sister. I'm gonna kill you, man. Polish power, man. Polish power.
For real, bro. That'd be I'm glad he's not retiring.
Exactly. He said, "Fuck that. I'm only gonna retire after I kill this man."
Yeah, I'm like, he's still good enough to keep fighting.
I agree. Heading into our main event, I switched it at last minute. I
Well,
legit was
bro.
like,
Rami
I
saw
was
he
like,
was losing on the cards, had to do a last second change.
I was like, if I lose here, I deserve to lose. But I'm switching to Manel Cape.
Bro, but I was
I gave
hoping,
that
I'm like,
hot tag.
now he's going to be down by 2 now, not just 1. I was like, okay, feel free to change it. Royval's got this in the bag.
I was seeing red, baby, and I was like,
Yeah.
I got to win. And my goodness, it was
Well,
scary, man.
Kape was seeing red too, bro. He came in
Oh
there
yeah, he
pissed.
was. He was so pissed off and everything. His eyes were bulging out of his head. He was thinking of something crazy to say in the post-fight conference. But Brandon Royval is such a dog, and it's crazy that every fighter that's beat him has become champion.
Yeah.
Like Pantoja, champion. Moreno, champion. Joshua Van, champion. And now freaking Manel Cape, which we'll get into that right now. These two were exchanging blows, lot of leg kicks in the very beginning. Like that first minute was just leg kicks galore.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get into the second minute mark. They're trying to get a little bit dirty, crazy with each other, but nothing really landing except for Cape like pointing at the octagon, like, no, get over here, like, fight me, I'm not gonna pressure you. Then he's decided at the 30-minute mark, you know what? Let's go for the pressure. He goes in for it, lands that big, beautiful right straight, drops
Yeah.
Brandon
Oof.
Royval, and is able to. A lot of people were saying that it was the right stoppage. I want to say that I don't think it necessarily was because you see Brandon Royval is still awake. You see him putting his feet up on the hips of Manel Cape, ready
Mm.
to push him off as soon as the referee like as before the referee even jumps in. But the referee jumps in is like, all right, call the fight off. Manel Cape wins. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like we could have maybe gotten like 20 more seconds and not like kept freaking like landing freaking blows, but it looked
Yeah.
like Royval could have gotten up, got himself around, circled around the cage, and then back into the action. That was not the case. Um, just wild finish, wild way to end off the night, wild way to end off the ESPN partnership. ESPN2 and ESPN Plus were the broadcast for this. It sucks that Disney Plus did not get a sponsor for this because I love saying my Bluey jokes and
I
everything.
know,
Like,
bro. I know.
get the fuck out of here, get off Bluey, goddammit! I'm going to get my
We're
goddamn
watching
video.
UFC, buddy.
We're watching UFC. Get yourself a Coors. Like, come on now, like that's a Coors because Bud Light won't pay me nothing. But like, oh my God, when that used to be one of my favorite lines to say. Um, but Manel K picks up a big win here. He
Mm-hmm.
he did really dominant win, of course, that you got to get. Manel Cape is currently ranked number 6. He defeats the number 2 ranked Brandon Royval, so he's top 3 right now. Pantoja out with the injury, so
Mm-hmm.
there's literally only 2 options for the UFC to make: Manel Cape or Tatsuro Taira, who just freaking not. And that's the crazy thing too. Royval has Royval ever been knocked out? Has
I
he ever
think
been finished before?
it was like an injury, and then he got hurt, and then he got finished by Brandon Moreno. But that
Yeah,
one,
yeah, he
nothing
did.
clean like that.
At the last second, yeah, he lost to him because that's what set up the whole tetralogy that we saw with freaking
Yeah.
Moreno and Steve Figueiredo. But prior to that, he legit had only lost by decision, and then he lose to Moreno. Oh my God, I forgot he got choked out by Pantoja as well. Um, but then he
So
beat
before Patanjali was champ, for real. Crazy.
exactly. He beats Rogerio Bontorum. He chokes out Matt Schnell. He knocks out Mateus Nicolau. He loses to Pantoja, which was for the UFC Flyweight Championship. Which I tend to forget that. I
Mm-hmm.
tend to forget that Royval was in that picture. And
Yeah.
then he fights Moreno. He beats my split decision. He beats Tatsuro Taira, which is crazy. He was the last person to beat Taira before this big old streak started. He
Mm-hmm.
loses to Joshua Van in a title contender, which was fight of the night, which was a beautiful fight. Like that should be fight of the year, in my opinion, because of just how crazy we saw for 3 minutes, like for 5 rounds,
Yeah,
three
that was
rounds,
crazy.
three
Mm-hmm.
round, 5 minute round, and then loses to Manel Cape by knockout for getting knocked out or finished for the first time in 4-5 years. Crazy, crazy stuff. Manel
Mm-hmm.
Cape picking up the big win here, knocking himself in the top 2. What were your thoughts on that? And who do you think deserves the next crack at the championship?
Yeah, dude, it was an amazing performance, especially against someone like Royval. And makes me ask some questions. I'm like, Kape, had some crazy ass gyno. Now he's knocking out Royval in like 5 seconds. So maybe he's on the juice, but nah. In all seriousness, Kape is nasty, bro. He was like locked in. The accuracy of that punch, where that was a weird angle to land, and he just perfectly hit the chin. So Kape is looking like he's finally able to get that title shot. I think he does deserve it over Taira, even though Taira beat Moreno in a really impressive way. That was just such a statement win from Manel Kape beating Royval in that way, who's like really durable fighter who went the distance with Joshua Van, and now Kape just absolutely runs through him. So I'm really interested to see how Kape and Van would match up while Pantoja's healing up from his injury. So as much as I love Taira, I do think that at this point, the resume speaks for itself for Kape, and I think that he does, deserve it. And you know who else deserves one? Who's not even in the UFC anymore is Muhammad Mokaev. I mean, he beat Kape before he was cut. And now Kape is on this crazy streak, and he could be if Kape becomes champion, Mokaev is going to have a win over a UFC champion and is not even in the UFC recently. That was literally last year. So get Mokaev back in the damn UFC. Come on. I'm still so pissed about that. I'm like, Dana and his damn fucking vendettas against certain fighters. Just cutting them for no reason. I'm like, he had an argument in the back. I'm like, so you can freaking assault a fucking civilian and you're fine, but if it's another fighter, then it's the issue. It's just so too much for me. I'm like,
Conor McGregor has been on trial for the last 10 years for rape, for assault on a fighter, for assault on multiple fighters,
for a punching old man, for real.
Punching old men in bars, throwing dollies at buses in Brooklyn to try to, which got, Rose Namajunas glass in her eye, Michael Chiesa glass in his eye, Moreno got injured during that, Khabib almost got injured during that. Even Rose Namajunas was having a panic attack because of the PTSD that she suffers from. And people are like, oh, it's Conor McGregor, guys. He's a very, very great guy. Oh my goodness. Did you guys see he finally married his wife after 17 years of dating? 17 years of dating. Hey guys, he finally stopped assaulting women. Now he's marrying his wife. Isn't this great?
I'm like, the double standard is crazy.
Yeah. Conor keeps his job, even though he's lost multiple fights, choked out multiple times, broke his leg multiple times, and he's like, oh, he keeps his job. Muhammad Mokaev is 16-0 with legit. He defeated Manel Kape in his last fight, and since then he's been on a 3-fight winning streak. So he's still continuing on his 16-fight winning streak. He has 7 submissions, 6 decisions, and 3 knockouts in those 16 wins. But Dana White's like, yeah, it's too boring for me. He submitted Tim Elliott in the 3rd round. He defeated Alex Perez, who just got recently finished by who was it? Alex Perez recently got beat by Amabayev.
Asu Amabayev.
Asu Amabayev. He had that guillotine choke. Manel Kape just recently knocked out Brandon Royval. So where is Muhammad Mokaev?
Bro, bring him back.
That's a great freaking question. Because come on now, he defeated Cody Durden, Charles Johnson, Malcolm Gordon.
Bro, Charles Johnson. I'm like, another solid name. I'm like, how many people does he have to beat, bro?
I know exactly. Like former flyweight champions, former world champions and whatnot from around the world, and still freaking nothing.
So now he's just can't even be in the UFC anymore thanks to fucking Dana's vendetta against him.
Against fighters, I agree. Fuck Jake Paul. We all agree.
For real, bro. He's going night.
Exactly, night. Go to sleep.
And bro, otherwise it's rigged, bro. That's my take.
If Anthony Joshua loses to Jake Paul after he knocked out Francis Ngannou of all people,
bro, I saw. Did you see that shit? Jake was like, "I'm gonna put on a performance similar to Usyk versus Joshua." I'm like, "Oh my god, bro!" Now he thinks he's Usyk. I'm like, "Good god, bro. I can't with this guy, bro." Respect if he actually doesn't rig it and actually wins, but I'm like, bro, I can't with this, bro. Now you're Usyk.
Isn't Joshua set? Yeah, Joshua set to fight Usyk or Fury.
Fury after this, yeah. That's what they're saying.
Which is like fucking 10 years late already. Like
I know, finally, bro. I was talking about that back when I was like freaking in high school, bro.
Yeah, when I was going to Colorado for the first time ever, which was like in 2020. I went there before COVID, like at January, February time, and I legit got home for my flight, and on my TV was Dan Hooker versus Paul Felder. Paul Felder stepped in on last minute, so
Yeah.
He fought Dan Hooker. That same night was the second or first fight between what do you call it, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That was back 5 freaking years ago, five,
Yeah.
6 years ago. So first to get 5 years later for Joshua to finally be like, hey guys, I'm no longer the third wheel. I can finally fight. Like, you lost to
I
Andy
know.
Ruiz Jr. Please, for the love of God, lock the fuck in. No, like,
Bro, if Joshua loses, bro, his legacy's cooked.
yeah, Anthony Joshua knocked out Francis Ngannou. I was like, oh, okay. And then Jake Paul was supposed to fight Francis Ngannou. That never happened because Francis was like, oh, they handed me paycheck and I was so confused by it. I don't know what it was about. They told you we want you to fight Jake Paul.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you do that for us? I'm confused.
So I'm like, please do us all a favor, bro. Please.
If someone said, Rami, freaking go inside this plane and jump out and with no parachute for $1 million, fucking tell me when. Like, you know what I mean? Fucking
no
tell
parachute.
me when. No parachute. I'll do it right now. Like I'll land feet first, man. Like freaking my leg will go into my stomach. Come on now, like, oh my god. But before, I'm so glad that I picked Kape to win. I needed it so freaking badly. I was like, oh, I need this.
Tied it up.
Tied it up. Break your winning streak. You about to be 3 weeks winning streak, and I was like, no, fuck that shit.
I needed it, but you still took it on the overall. Rami takes the overall win percentage on the year. Not bad at all. I mean, we're both above 60. I call that a win. Rami above 65.
Yeah, that's a big win for you as well, my God. Like, look at you. 313 freaking correct predictions out of 108 and then 6 draws only. Like,
yeah.
Crazy freaking work with me.
Well, 234,
112. Like, that's really good, very serious. I wonder how it would have been if we had that full year, which we will. Starting next freaking month, baby. Like
tune in, guys.
Tough. I cannot wait. This is
revenge year for me. You know, I'm coming for that.
Oh man, I cannot wait. But
I
didn't finish off the year with a big dub, so you know what I mean. Like I'm just saying, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was a draw, but you know, we'll let you celebrate the overall.
You know what I mean? Like I got it. Do you know what time it is?
Fuck, what time?
As a matter of fact, I think it might be winning time. My man, let's go! Like, oh my god, like I'm so happy.
It's been a while since you got to do that.
Yeah, it's been such a freaking while, like a long while. My god,
it was a weekly thing for a while early on in the year. Rami was cooking my ass.
Freaking Brady was like, oh, I can't stand this motherfucker. But I'm so happy that we've been able to do this show for what 6, 7, 8 months now, almost like that.
Yeah,
I joined in because I was like, I love MMA and I love hearing you guys yap about this stuff. You and Brady at the time, Brady, you know, of course, the GOAT. I hope that he makes an appearance in 2026. Of course, that'd be so fucking awesome. He needs to. But we have such an exciting year for us. We no longer have to pirate UFC cards. I don't care. What are they gonna do to us? What are they? Send me to prison, bitch.
Federal fucking prison.
Federal fucking prison. meet a Mickey Mouse when he doesn't let me stream freaking Disney Plus.
For real, bro.
No, we get free UFC cards on Paramount Plus for that's $20 subscription or $10, whichever subscription it is. I don't know. I just send my boy my freaking money and I'm like, all right, pay for the half. But I cannot wait. This UFC card should be very exciting. Let's head right into that right now. UFC 324 live from T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, Nevada. It will be huge because we got. Let's go off the freaking card. Ricky Turquoise against Cameron Smotherman. Josh Hogan and his homophobia against D'Angelo Freeman. Natalia Silva will be stepping in for Alexa Grasso to fight Rose Namajunas. Alex Perez is back. He'll be fighting Charles Johnson. 2 fighters that Muhammad Mahayev beat will be fighting each other.
Yeah.
Atiba Abiga Gauthier will be fighting Andrei Polayev. We've seen
Yeah,
Gauthier
he's a
fight before.
monster.
He has knockout power, so it's gonna be nice. Umar Nurmagomedov wants to be back in that title picture. He'll be fighting Deepson Figueroa. Very, very exciting.
Hmm.
Nikita Krylov is back at light heavyweight. He'll be fighting Modestas Bugakis. Good one. Michael
Yeah,
Johnson. Michael Johnson, the freaking all-time UFC vet, has been there since 2011. My guy will be fighting against Alexander the Great Hernandez. So I'm excited for that one.
hmm
Hernandez has been on a really big streak. Last year, he really shocked all of us, and we were like, we might as well pick him because he's
real.
been doing
Yeah,
so good
check out our
there.
boy Chafe for real.
I know, I know. Arnold Allen is back finally after dealing with injuries and setbacks. He'll be fighting Gene Silva, who is so freaking dangerous, and we cannot wait to see what happens there. Waldo Cortez Acosta made history this year by fighting so many freaking times. Now he gets himself one of the biggest fights of his career against Derek My Balls Was Hot Lewis, and it's going to be very freaking
Bro,
exciting.
that one should be a knockout.
Um, Exactly. That is knockout guaranteed. If anyone's betting parlays, you better get your money up, bet your money up. But anyways, Sean O'Malley will fight Song Yadong. Sean O'Malley threw out that whole racist tirade of wearing a freaking COVID mask and saying that he didn't want to get sick before
Bro,
his
yeah, he's
fight.
like, oh, sick. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm hoping that Song Yadong, freaking throws his ass against the freaking Sharks. Um, then a fight that should be the main event, but is not. It's the co-main event. Women's bantamweight action for the women's bantamweight championship. Kayla Harrison will look to make history by defeating the returning Amanda Nunes. The GOAT herself is back, and we
yeah,
will be seeing two of the greatest women fighters of all time going at each
yeah,
other.
for real, bro.
Chris Cyborg fought this past weekend, and you know what she never got to do? Fight Kayla. You know what she did get to
Mhm.
do? Fight Nunes. She got knocked out cold. So I
Yeah,
cannot wait to see what happens for this fight. Kayla Harrison is a dog. Like legit,
yeah,
so freaking praised upon, especially in Colorado as well. All the judo freaking fighters there absolutely love Kayla Harrison. So this is
yeah.
gonna be very big. Plus, she's from Middletown, Ohio, which is where my best friends are from. Which is a very shocking thing. I'm like, of all places, that shithole. But hey, we don't hate on Kayla Harrison. But Ohio
Sure,
is a
bro.
shithole.
Yeah, the fact that
But
Kayla could make that weight when she fought at 155 at
I
PFL and now
know,
she's at
I
135,
know,
that shit was crazy. So I bet she wishes this was a 145er. I bet she wishes they still had that division
I
back when
know.
Amanda was double champ and had the 145 pound when they had that. So,
I
but
completely agree with you.
135, I feel like maybe Nunes will have the advantage. We'll see. We'll see.
You know,
It's gonna be
Nunes has always
interesting.
fought at that weight class, so she's always been dominant. Um, then we got the main event, interim championship. Um, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Winner faces potentially Ilia Topuria, but we don't know
Or
yet
not. Yeah, who knows?
because Ilia Topuria has three things on his mind: divorce, domestic abuse, and wanted to move up to welterweight to fight Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
And we're like, you might not get that third option if you're freaking being
Those other two
investigated
ones to go.
for domestic abuse, Buster Rooney, by your now almost ex-wife. Like,
I know. I'm like, I.
especially after she came on the Ariel Helwani show and she praised them and said, "Oh, anyone that steps to Ilya, oh, they're gonna get messed up and rocked and everything. Like, I'm always gonna believe in my man." And he's like, "Yeah, thank you so much, honey. How about I ruin your life? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, dude.
he tries so much to be like Conor McGregor
Mm,
that
a little too
the
much.
the next thing that pops out better not be like what Conor has done in the last 10
Yeah.
freaking years, including the R word, rape.
Hmm.
But I don't really. It's so fucked up to say that, but it's like he's
Yeah.
doing too much to be like Conor, and
Yeah.
it's like,
I'm like,
brother,
I'm starting to really think you really are trying to be like him, bro. I thought that was just a
like
joke.
I know, right? Like, but Gabe G and Pimblett, the winner of that, will become the interim champion. Could even become undisputed champion, and then after that, Armin Tsarukyan just wants to kill both guys because Armin should be fighting in this position,
Yeah,
but
literally,
he
bro.
killed he killed what did he fight again recently? Armin
Dan Hooker.
Dan Hooker choked him out, strangled him, all
Beat him
that stuff.
up.
Exactly, beat him up, break his neck, like Mark Henry's theme song would say, But and then our next fight after that, because we got January 24th and then February 1st, like a week in between of like freaking fight cards. So this one will be in Brazil. Sorry. It's Sydney, Australia. My apologies. We got Aaron Tal versus Namshoy Babayev, whatever. Sulen Guangbo versus Lawrence Liu. Jacob Malkoun versus Taurus Finney. I know who Taurus Finney is. I've seen his build before.
Yeah.
Kashiro Nakamura versus Sebastian Sasley. This is a very Australian built card. Kim Sang Wook against Dal Morfan. Cameron Roston versus Cody Brundage. Jimmy Crute against Dustin Jacoby. Rong Zhu against Quillan Sakilir. Quillan has been so freaking good. You've seen him fight a lot this year. I believe you've even have you done any artwork of his, Quillan?
No, I haven't. No, I should do.
My
If he
yeah,
gets another knockout, I might have to.
you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to. Jonathan Mikheyev versus Oban Elliott. Junior Tafa against Billy Elikana. Tai Tuivasa is back. He'll be fighting Taliesin Teixeira, who was screwed in his last fight. Khan Oakley will be fighting Zha Yi. Mauricio Ruffy is back. He'll be fighting Rafael Fasayev.
Yeah, that'll be crazy.
I know. Andy Delija, after his loss to Waldo Cortez Acosta, will be back to fight Sergey Spivak. The co-main event is Benoit Saint Denis against Dan Hooker.
Yeah, I'm like, how is Dan back already, bro?
Like,
what the fuck?
Like, dude, Armin's not even back yet. Armin's
yeah.
I'm gonna wait my time. Bro,
Dan is fucking crazy, bro. I'm like, you just got beat up and finished like a week or two ago, and you already scheduled the fight like in a month. It's fucking crazy.
Exactly. And then we had the main event, Alexander Volkanovski coming back home to fight Diego Lopez in a rematch. Last time they fought each other, he beat him by decision.
It was a banger, one. Yeah.
It was a very, very big banger, so I'm very excited to see what happens there. And yeah, there's so many. Hold on. Brandon Moreno is already scheduled to fight, by the way, in February in Mexico City against Asu Almabayev. And then UFC 326, before we send everybody off, UFC 326, the only fight so far that's been announced for it is the BMF Championship bout. After 10.5 years, Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira will meet again after Oliveira was defeated via first-round technical knockout in a featherweight bout after sustaining an apparent neck and shoulder injury during a takedown attempt, which rendered him unable to compete. The injury was later reported as a minor neck injury. 10.5 years later, Charles Du Bronx Oliveira has become an absolute legend. Same thing with Max Bless Holloway, so that should be a very, very fun fight.
Now that's a BMF fight right there, bro. For real.
I'm confused as to who I want to win, because if Charles could get that wrestling going, Max might be in trouble. Like, that's the thing that Max has not dealt with, a wrestler. Last time that he dealt with a wrestler was Volkanovski, and that was mostly leg kicks, takedowns. So it's going to be very freaking exciting what we see there.
Yeah, 2026 off to a good start, man. I'm excited.
Will be very exciting. Let's not forget that Houston card as well. Sean Strickland is back.
Yeah.
Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So I'm going for Fluffy. We all going for Fluffy. He's been so dominant after defeating Roman Kopylov by strangling him like a freaking fish hook. I was like, welcome to Derry, because Fluffy Hernandez is freaking Pennywise over here. He wants to kill everybody. But I'm excited for that. 2026 will be off to an amazing start. It's been so fun spending 2025 doing these shows, being able to talk with you, being able to go against each other, whether it was the almost perfect card you got last week.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Me getting that perfect card and whatnot. Like,
we both had the lost cards, you know. We both had it. So 2026, we're going undefeated card. You know, you heard it here first. You know, we both were so close this year. You know, we both nearly had it.
So much research will be going into every single fight for me, so that I can make sure that I have like below 10 losses before it's summer. Like, I'm really gonna be trying my best here.
Bro, dude. That's the thing, bro. I'm like, I'll be confident, and then it'll be a terrible card, and then I won't be confident, and it'll be like the best card. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, we'll be like, oh, this is a knockout artist. Then he's there like,
bro, they're staring at each other the whole time, like, come on, punch.
End round. What the fuck are you doing, man? Like, but it's gonna be so exciting. I cannot wait, Max. Of course, where can they find you on your socials?
Find me at Combat Combos on Twitter and X, and also find me at Brawl and Draw on Instagram. That's where I post my MMA and boxing artwork. Check it out. It's a good time. And, you know, follow Body Slam and follow the GOAT up here. Where can they find you?
They can find me at Who Else for Rami on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, yeah, TikTok. Most of those really good places and whatnot where I just post my stupidity or post some of my, good thoughts. I'm really thinking about like as soon as like, the new year hits or even maybe even this month, towards the end of the month, I'm really starting to think about doing more and more videos on my own personal YouTube channel. So I cannot wait to see what could happen there and whatnot. Try
Oh
to get,
yeah, for
venture out
real.
more, try to, do some really big things. 2026 is supposed to be a very
For
massive year. You
coming
know
to
what
the
I
top.
mean? Massive, going to the top, never coming back down. I want to be the king of the mountain. Like my name is Jeff Jarrett. Um, but thank you so much to everybody that tunes in, whether it's 300 viewers, 100 viewers, 1,000 viewers, 500 viewers. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we absolutely
We're yapping
appreciate it.
either
We love
way.
all of you. We're yapping no matter what, and we're gonna be going at each other's throats to make sure that I'm like,
Bro, I'm coming. I'm
I
coming
don't
for
think
the
that was a
throne
win
next
there,
year.
Buster Rooney.
Rami got me this time, but it's okay.
My crown will be staying heavy on that wall, but we'll be kicking off 2026 with episode 40 more than likely, unless we do a late episode this
For
year.
late celebratory Jake Paul is
Like,
left episode.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like episode 40 got freaking 40 knockouts and everything. Like, let's go, baby. But of course, you can of course find me on all my socials there. I want to give a little bit of a shout out to two people on Instagram that we both know of. Courtney, High Elf Club. She does some great
Yeah,
artwork
yeah.
as always, and she's turned it into like hoodies, shirts, all sorts of like cool ass
Oh
merchandise.
yeah.
So big shout out to her. If you follow her on Instagram at High Elf Club, you'll find so much great stuff that you can find
Mm,
for your loved
for real,
ones, for
bro.
your friends. There's one hoodie that I think is the coolest one, and it's the Vandalay Silva and Chael Sonnen one. I can't let you get too close.
Mm,
That is one of my favorite Ultimate Fighter, videos ever
yeah.
or clips. So very happy about that. And also Sav Jelly. She does all these, crochet dolls of
Yeah.
Islam Makshayev, Vigan Costa, all these sorts of different fighters and everything. She does such great work. She's such a diehard. I remember asking her one time, I was like, "Have you ever watched any of these movies or any of these shows?" And she's like, "No, I just watch fights." I'm like, "That's fucking dedication right there." Like, you know what
Mm,
I mean? Just
going to the events and
crochet,
shit for real.
watch fight, going to the events. She saw freaking Sajudi Dumas get his nut freaking like kicked out of his testicle.
For real, but I
Like
heard he needs surgery on that. Oof.
he was on a stretcher and everything. He even told people like, if you don't believe me, I'll post a picture of my nutsack right now. Like,
I'm
brother, you
like,
don't have to do that.
I think we're good on
Please
that.
don't do. Please don't do that. But big shout out to Courtney and Sav Jelly. Very very great work that we always see from them
Oh
on
yeah.
Instagram. If anyone ever wants a shout out, of course, like, hit our line and everything. We're more than happy to show the good people of the MMA community that their work is being seen and the work is being shown, and that people should be buying this stuff and investing into how great that they put their time and dedication into everything. So of
Mm-hmm.
course, thank you so much to everybody that tunes in, to everybody that supports us every single week or every single month, all year round. It's just really good. You're not making the nice list if you're watching this show because you hear us all the time. But but thank you so much to everybody. We will see you next time. And this has been Rami Afif with another Talktagon episode with my boy Max. It's funny, we didn't have our names here. For some reason, I guess our names are invisible. Like, usually we have our names like in the corner or whatever, but like,
There's been so
fuck
much
you guys.
episodes, they should know by now.
They should basically know by now. Who else for Rami, Combat Combos, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta follow the goats. All right, thank you so much to everybody that tuned in. We will see you next time. Salud.